Now up to 81.
Very good. All right, let's start the meeting. I'm Ron Brown, as you all know, and good morning and welcome to Tech for Seniors. This is going to be a 1-hour weekly show sponsored by Silvercom Computer and Technology Club. It's going to be co-hosted by Ron Brown and my good friend Sherry Popluck, who you've already talked to today. It's broadcasted live using Zoom software.
Ron, we're getting an echo, and it may be. Let me try to mute this one and see what happens. All right, now go ahead and continue.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
That's good.
That was it. Okay.
Okay. We might have to mute everybody. We could mute all, you know. All right. Well, it's broadcasted using Zoom technology and software. You should be able to see my screen now, and you should be able to hear my voice. If in the show your screen locks up, just wait. Wait, it will probably solve and correct itself. Closing and restarting your connection will probably just make it worse. This is related to the internet congestion. Well, welcome everyone. 7 days ago, Gail and I returned from Mesa. And as we drove through the empty freeways in Seattle, we knew that life was changing. We were the only ones at the busy Peach Arch border crossing and have now completed our first week in self-isolation. I had talked about having some computer club meetings this summer, but realized that we could probably fill the void by having a weekly show. After numerous conference calls, the idea of Tech for Seniors was hatched, and a friend of mine in Florida, Huey Popluck, liked the idea so much he wanted to co-host it with me, and I thank him very much for that. We hope to have this as a weekly presentation for the next 5 or 6 months until till this disaster goes over. I wanted to just let everybody know how this is going to work. The first, you probably, most of you will get my email reminders when I send out emails. And this is an example of the email I just sent out. And at the top here, you see Technology for Seniors, co-hosted by Ron Brown and Huey Popluck. And you'll see a link here. Now, if you click that link, it will take you to our website. And if we come up here, you'll see this is our Silvercom website. And if you look at the top and you scroll over to the right, you'll see a button called Tech for Seniors. If you click on this Tech for Seniors button, this will bring up all the information about the meeting. Now, the way that we have planned this meeting is it will be a recurring meeting, but it will be the same meeting ID for all the meetings. So once you've logged on once, you should just be able to click the link and it will log you again. Now, the format of this meeting is that we'd like to take the first 15 minutes will be spent answering questions. And some of you have submitted questions and I will try to answer those questions in the first 15 minutes. And the next 30 minutes will be split between Huey and I, or a guest speaker, talking about technology that's going to help seniors through these most difficult times. Topics can include social isolation, online shopping, entertainment, streaming TV services, and much more. And the last 15 minutes, I would like to give some tips to the audiences about great movies, shows, or books that you have read in the past week to help with your the times that we're going through. Now, if you follow down on this web page, you'll see that I've put a link on here. And if all doesn't work and you get confused, all you have to do is click this link and it'll automatically connect you to this broadcast. All right. I'm not going to click it now because I don't want to reconnect twice. But if you just click this, that will simply log you on to our Zoom account and you'll enter the meeting. There may be a bit of software that you have to download and install But once you've done it once, you won't have to do it again. Now, if we move down here, I wanted just to go over a video that I have, a really excellent video that was produced on how to use Zoom. And I'm not going to play the video, but if you click on this link here, you will be able to play the video on, it's an introductory video on what Zoom is and how it works. So if you're having problems with figuring out what Zoom is, if you just click on this link, you'll be able to watch that video. Now, there are 3 ways that you can log in with Zoom. The first way is you just phone in. In the email that I sent out this morning, and you'll see that at the bottom here, this is the invitation that I sent out, and you will see at the bottom, you'll see various phone numbers. You can just simply phone in. You don't need a computer. You can do this on your on just a plain ordinary phone. You can just phone in on that number. However, you won't be able to see the video, which is sort of important. But if all else fails and you know some seniors who just want to phone in and listen, they can just phone in the number. All they will have to do is put in the meeting ID number when they're prompted, and that meeting ID is in the invitation. And it would be this number right here, 526610331, and that will never change. The second way is connecting on your laptop. Now, most of you have done that today. All you have to do is click on the link, and it will connect through your laptop into our Zoom meeting. I think this is pretty straightforward. It's available on all platforms, and so I don't see any difficulty with that. The other one is actually works quite well. I suspect most of you are on your PC or laptop. Oh, if you want to talk a little bit about if you are using a PC, all laptops will have cameras and mics on them. Whereas if you're using a PC, it may not have a mic and it may not have a camera. So you won't be able to, if you're using a PC without a camera or mic, you won't be able to interact very well. The last way is the third way that you can also is using your smartphone. And you can download the Zoom app, and it doesn't matter whether it's Android or iOS, but you can download the Zoom app onto your smartphone, and then you simply open the app up, and you'll put the meeting ID in, and bingo, you will be connected to our meeting. So those are the 3 ways that you can get into the Zoom meeting. You can just phone in, you can connect with your laptop, or you can connect with your smartphone. And you'll also get an invitation from me, but the meeting ID will always stay the same. So this is our website. It's called Tech for. It's part of our. It will bring me back. This is our website for Silvercom CTC, and just click on Tech for Seniors, and that will take you to the meeting. And that's where we are right now. Now, I don't know how many of you saw this article, but today or last week, there was a marriage that occurred with Zoom. There is no doubt that over the next 6 months, group gatherings are probably going to be limited. So you're going to see weddings, you're going to see birthday parties, and you're going to also see funerals. I'm sure with seniors, we'll probably be at funerals on Zoom. So it is important that you get familiar with this. I had a number of emails on Sunday who people went to church services and they used Zoom technology for church services as well. So this is something that is handy, and I would encourage you. Now,
Ron, let me interrupt a minute.
Sure.
My youngest had a birthday party yesterday, and he was 2 years old, out of Denver, Colorado. We used Alexa drop-in on a 10-inch screen, and it really worked well.
Right. Well, we had a meeting yesterday with my We had a meeting yesterday with my happy hour, and my daughter in Australia joined. There was my other daughter here. There was Steve and Barb from up in Williams Lake, and we had a nice, we had a great meeting. Now, the other thing I wanted just to explain to everybody is I would encourage you all to create your own Zoom account. You don't need to have a Zoom account to participate in a meeting, but it is free. And this is the website. You click here, and you'll simply go to the Zoom website, which will come up. Should come up here, and you can simply sign up for free. And I would encourage you to do this and to practice and get used to it. You don't need, it's free. The difference between the paid version and the free version is the paid version, you can have unlimited length of your meetings. With the free version, you only have meetings for 40 minutes, all right? So there is a difference between the paid and non-paid, but for what you might want to do, then under 40 minutes, you can have conferences with your kids, all sorts of opportunity for you. So I would encourage you not only just to use to join on to our tech for seniors, but I would also I would encourage you to also get an account. All right, now coming back, the other thing that I'd ask people to do for the first 15 minutes is to send questions in. And we did get some questions, and I just wanted to address those questions. I've got 3 minutes before I turn this over to Huey. And it's Dewey that sent the questions. Huey and Dewey. Not that I'm going to get confused. So Dewey asked a number of questions, asked 4 questions, and I'll attempt to answer these. These are traveling questions. He said, we are leaving in a few days to travel 1,700 miles back to Minnesota. What suggestions can you give concerning A, where we can find necessary bathroom stops? Well, in our travels, and we left Mesa about 10 days ago, we traveled about 2,000 miles back up to, we went up 93, over across 84, and then up into Canada. We found that most of the bathrooms in restaurants were closed, like McDonald's and places like that. The bathrooms in most of the big interstates were open at the big interstate rest stops. So the public rest stops were usually closed, but the big interstate gas stations were still open. Usually I was the only one filling up there because there's no traffic. So we didn't really have bathroom problems per se. You'll still find all the bathrooms open at most of the fueling stations. Are most drive-through windows at fast food restaurants opening? I guess so. We took our food with us. We packed lunches. We had some cheese and buns and made sandwiches. So we really didn't go into fast food restaurants for lunches. I think lunches are pretty simple. I would encourage everyone to take their own food with them and just avoid that as an issue. Will we have difficulty finding good motels? There's nobody in the motels, so you won't have any trouble finding them. We phoned ahead and booked our hotels largely because we wanted to make sure the hotels were still open. There really is nobody in the hotels, so you won't have any trouble, but I would certainly phone ahead to book your site. Any other advice on staying safe at this time of crisis? We had a very nice trip back. There was nobody on the road except for some trucks, and it really went very well. We had a riveting, we read a couple of audiobooks that were great, and so the whole time flew by fairly quickly. So I don't see much more advice I can give other than make sure that you keep your fuel tank filled up. Gas stations were all open. Of course, there's plenty of fuel However, I was usually the only person at the gas station. So I'm not sure how long these are all going to stay open with so little traffic.
Can I add something there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
They say that gas pumps are one of the dirtiest things that you can handle. If you've got some gloves, disposable gloves, pump your gas using the gloves and then throw the gloves away. And then make sure you wash your hands, and if you've got some sanitizer, put it on after you've handled the gas pump.
Excellent choice. Yes, yes, for sure. All right, that's 9:15. I'm going to hand this over now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. I'm going to stop sharing it, and I'm going to let Huey take over now. And he's going to give a talk, and then I'll come back and do a talk after Huey.
Just as a reminder, please click the menu at the bottom and put your name and where you're from in the chat box. Click the chat box at the bottom. Also, I don't know if you noticed there were some lines on Ron's screen. That is the annotate. So please don't annotate our screens because everybody sees what you do. And we'll probably have to turn that off. And I muted a few people while Ron was talking when we were getting some sounds in the background. So if you saw your picture and then all of a sudden it said you were muted, it was probably me doing it to try to cut out the noise. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about audiobooks today. And this is a half an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
We're up to 100 participants.
Yes, we have been. So that means if somebody's trying to get on, it's saying it's full.
Yeah.
This is a half-hour presentation. I'm going to try to cut it down to 15 minutes, so I'm going to kind of go through a few of the slides quickly. But audiobooks are for people who hate reading and for those of us who love reading. Now, it was a quote. Thomas Edison created the first spoken word phonograph record in 1877. He predicted technology might one day allow books to be listened to with great profit and amusement by the lady or gentleman whose eyes and hands may be otherwise employed. An interesting way of talking, but that was a long time ago. In 1932, the American Foundation for the Blind began creating books on vinyl records for war-blinded soldiers and blind civilians who couldn't read Braille. In 52, Cadman Records became the first company dedicated to selling spoken word records to the public. The evolution, of course, has gone on. We went from books on tape, replaced with vinyl audiobooks. Streaming superseded that. Now the smartphones are replacing everything. Just the fact that you can get audiobooks for anything, and most audiobooks are available to listen to on all of your devices that have that ability. The best place to get audiobooks, believe it or not, is your library system. When I put this together, I was talking to the group in the Orlando area, which is Seminole County and Orange County. And then Wednesday, I'm doing this for Manatee, for the Sarasota group, which includes Manatee and Sarasota County. And then I also checked with the Mesa Public Library. So what I'm going to be talking about, even if you're not in Mesa right now and you're in your home base, most likely your library system has audiobooks available for you. And so I'm going to show you some examples, but your particular library may be a little bit different. In Seminole County, which is just north of Orlando, they've got Overdrive, Hoopla, and another, and you can get up to about 5 checkouts a month, and you can have them for a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks from one device, 4 from another for 21 days. So it's going to vary in your area. Here's some examples of some of the books, and when you look at those websites, it will say right here like audiobook. This is an ebook, an audiobook, an audiobook. So if you want audiobooks, it specifically gives them. There may be a whole section with featured ones, new releases, new listings, and there's also usually a categories list that you can look at them. At this particular library, and this was in Orange County, the Orlando one, they have over 1,000, but Many of the other libraries have even more than that through the different services. Here they have Overdrive, they have Freeding, Hoopla. For audiobooks, I'm sorry, is Hoopla, Overdrive, and RB Digital. And I believe Overdrive and RB Digital are available out of the Mesa library as well. And again, you can see some of the titles about the books. Here is how you get to it in Manatee County. Again, they've got Overdrive, Hoopla, and RB Digital. Sarasota County, this is how you get to it. And most of them have some kind of a tutorial to tell you how to do it. So it should be very simple to download from your particular library. I really didn't want to go into how you do it with your library because every library is going to be a little bit different and all of you are in so many different places. Here are some more examples from the Mesa library. And I've got some close-up of these. Let's, for instance, from audiobooks from your library under the help for Overdrive, they've got help on borrowing titles for all of the different devices. And then here's what they say, the Overdrive, and then you can click on technical help, RB Digital, and again, they have a lot of audiobooks there. They have 30,000 and unlimited access audiobooks with no hassle, and then Cloud Library is another place where you can get audiobooks from the Mesa library system, which is also the Greater Phoenix digital system. Another place where you can get audiobooks is from Prime, which is a company called Audible. Amazon bought them, and it's now an Audible is now a Amazon product. There is a membership. It's $14.95 per month. After 30 days, you get a 30-day free test. And Audible is strictly for audiobooks. They have over 100,000 of them. Audible is similar to Netflix, and they have some of their own original content. Also, you can read this, so I'm not going to just read it to you. But Audible also, I believe, in their applications, if you had them on a couple of different devices, when you stop a book, you bookmark it, you can go to another device and pick up from where you left off. Audible compatible devices, you can see just about everything you probably have. And right now, Audible, during this crisis, they are offering some titles free. Without signing up, you don't have to have an account or anything. The link is on the left. You just go to stories.audible.com/start-listen. And a lot of them are for teens and other children's stories, but there is a whole section of classics that if you're interested, there are some books that you can get for free and just start listening, see how it works. Another paid service is Scribed. That one's only $9.99 a month after 30 days. It's unlimited audiobooks and you can cancel at any time. Scribe offers audiobooks and more. Premium membership, you can enjoy thousands of different audiobooks in different genres. You can also access short stories, essays, and articles and documents. Again, most devices. And this slide kind of gives you an idea of the differences. Compatibility, both services work on most smartphones. Audible is better if you want to keep your library forever. Scribed work more like Netflix. Once you cancel your subscription, you can no longer access the content. Then I ran into another service. It's called Chirp. Chirp is much cheaper for the books, but there's no subscription fee. And you can see from this screen capture that I did last night that there are some popular books for in the $5 range, $2 range, and so on that you can download and then play to your heart's content, and they're yours. And I couldn't really take a a book and start playing it to show you what it's like. So I found this video of somebody who coaches people who are readers for books. Let's take a listen, and let's see. I hope you can hear it. If not, I can turn it on here. Are you hearing it?
No.
Are you hearing?
Oh, no.
Okay, hang on.
You are probably using your headset.
No, yeah, what happened was I forgot to click on something, that's all.
Yep.
Uh,
Share the audio.
and I can,
You have to stop sharing and start sharing.
yeah, there is a way I thought to do it, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Real quick, then go ahead and share again. We're still at 100, by the way. We didn't lose anybody yet.
No.
Okay, here's the button that I have to clear. And click that. And then try it.
They're teaching audiobook skills,
You hear it?
guiding talent
Yes.
into making audiobook narration book deals and making demos. I thought it might be of value for you to listen to some examples of wonderful narrators and get a sense of how their personal styles vary. It should be an encouragement to you to hear the varied styles which are needed for audiobook narration. So here goes. Here's the superstar of audiobook narrators, Scott Brick, reading an excerpt from What Makes Sammy Run by Bud Schulberg. There's nothing particularly unusual about Scott's voice. It's all about connecting with the listener and his storytelling abilities at unwinding that story. Also, Scott has the ability to give you the style of the piece. Notice how he takes on the feel of a 1930s or 1940s movie that's perfect for the book.
The first time I saw him, he couldn't have been much more than 16 years old. A little ferret of a kid, sharp and quick. Sammy Glick. Used to run copy for me. Always ran. Always looked thirsty. "Good morning, Mr. Mannheim," he said to me the first time we met. "I'm the new office boy, but I ain't gonna be an office boy long." "Don't say ain't," I said, "or you'll be an office boy forever." "Thanks, Mr. Mannheim," he said. "That's why I took this job, so I can be around writers and learn all about grammar and how to act right." 9 out of 10 times I wouldn't have even looked up, but there was something about the kid's voice that got me. He must have been charged with a couple of 1,000 volts. "So, you're a pretty smart little feller," I said. "Oh, I keep my ears and eyes open," he said. "You don't do a bad job with your mouth either," I said. "I wondered if newspaper men always wisecrack the way they do in the movies," he said. "Get the hell out of here," I answered. He raced out, too quickly, a little ferret. Smart kid, I thought. Smart little yid. He made me uneasy. That sharp, neat, eager little face. I watched the thin, wiry body dart around the corner in high gear. It made me uncomfortable. I guess I've always been afraid of people who can be agile without grace.
Now listen to Renee Rodman as she perfectly balances reading with embodying the characters with a reality in this excerpt from the young adult book, Wesley, The Story of a Remarkable Owl by Stacey O'Brien.
I was a little nervous about asking if I could bring an owl home to live with us, but she just smiled and patted her horse on the neck. "A barn owl? Won't he be a great addition to the family?" "Wendy," I said, "I'll have to keep dead mice in the freezer and cut up mice in the fridge. Would that be okay?" "Meat is meat," she shrugged. "I mean, a lot of mice, Wendy." "A lot of mice? How many is a lot?" "Well, probably thousands of mice as time goes by." "How long do barn owls live, anyway?" she asked. I'm not sure how long they live in captivity. Maybe up to 15 or 20 years. "Well, I think you should do it," she said. "It's the chance of a lifetime."
Here's an excerpt by Carrington McDuffie from Abiding Darkness by John Aubrey Anderson, where we hear her wonderful skill at doing some strong character work.
"Boy, he never called Mose anything else. There ain't never gonna be no drink better than coffee. 'Cept in heaven, I reckon." The frail old man nodded and spoke as he bent to put the cup by the rocking chair. "'Cept in heaven is right, boy. Gonna drink from the fountain that don't never run dry. A sure enough pure river of living water, clear as crystal, proceeding straight out of the throne. Now that's a drink to shame the best cup of coffee on the place.
Now, here's a sample from Kata Mazer, narrating from the Nanny Diaries. Kata is a stellar reader, but by her own admission, has a kind of vanilla voice. One of her greatest skills, and one that is sought after by producers and publishers, is her ability to connect to the listener by giving the impression she's reading to one person.
If there were any justice in the world, this is the point when all nannies should be given roadblocks and a stun gun. These rooms are destined to become the burden of my existence. From this point on, 95% of this apartment will be nothing more than a blurred background for chasing, enticing, and point-blank pleading with the child to put the Delft milkmaid down. I am also about to become intimate with more types of cleaning fluid than I knew there were types of dirt. It will be in her pantry, stocked high above the washer-dryer, that I discover people actually import toilet bowl cleanser from Europe. We arrive in the kitchen. It is enormous. With a few partitions, it could easily house a family of 4. She stops to rest one manicured hand on the counter, affecting a familiar pose, like a captain at the helm about to address the crew. However, I know if I asked her where she keeps the flour, a half hour of rummaging through unused baking utensils would ensue.
Here's my friend and wonderful actor, Richard McGonigal, who is fully capable of doing character voice work. But in this excerpt from Roosevelt and Churchill, Men of Secrets by David Stafford, Richard keeps to a rather dry read, almost reporting, which I think is...
I'm going to go ahead and stop it because I'm out of my time. But you get an idea of what the voices are like and what an audiobook would sound like as well. I thought there were some pretty good examples there, and it certainly sounds enticing if you've never listened to an audiobook. And with that, I'll go back to not sharing. And Ron, do we have a couple of seconds for maybe a question or two, and then we can go on to the next section?
Let's do that then. Does anyone have any questions about audiobooks for Huey? Wave your hand and anybody?
I guess we're good. What I can see.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen again, and we will share this.
While you're doing that, I saw Jim Gould is on. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, really? Good for Jim. I'm surprised he could get on. I think I've already had some complaints that people tried to log on and can't get on because they're.
We had gotten down to 98 and then it started to fill up again, and now we're back to 99. So as some drop out, new ones come in.
Yeah, I think I just kind of skipped in there when somebody dropped off, because if I was in, there were 100 people. Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. And Huey, haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Yep. And welcome to everybody else. And again, a reminder, if you joined us late, please go to the chat box at the bottom of your screen when the menu comes up, and type in the chat your name and what city you're in.
For those of you,
back to you.
For those of you who don't know, Jim Gould is from that very, very popular online show called Geeks on Tour. And Jim and Chris helped us set this up. So thanks again, Jim. And
you're welcome. Always happy to help. And we're all learning this stuff. So that's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah.
We're having a great time.
Right. So the topic I wanted to talk today about was getting groceries. This may sound simple, but when you're doing your 2-week self-isolation, you can't go to the grocery store. And so there are different services that you can use to get groceries. Now, in the old days before the crisis, Gail and I would often like to go shopping together, and we often would go to Costco a couple of times a week. And so it was a social thing. But now life has changed, and of course, before you go to the grocery store, if you can, you know, only one person should go, and you should probably try and limit your exposure. So that would mean maybe going every 2 weeks rather than once a week. The less time you're in public, the less likely you're going to get infected. I wanted to talk about Amazon Fresh. I talked about this at our club this year, and it's a service that you should be aware of that is available through Amazon. Now, I don't know how many have used this service, but if you look at Amazon Fresh was originally going to be a $14.99 a month service. And it would be also competing with Prime Pantry, which is a service they have as well, and Whole Foods. However, they morphed this idea and included it now in a Amazon Prime account, in your Amazon Prime account. Now, I would also encourage you in this time of crisis to look at actually getting an Amazon Prime account. There is no doubt that home delivery of whether it's food or goods and services is going to be extremely important. And the cost is...
I'm talking on food, how to buy food, what to buy.
And so it is, this is available and at the cost as we've shown you. Now, when you go to look at purchasing food online, you'll come up to your Amazon account, and you will see the Amazon Fresh icon on the Prime on the website, and you'll see over here to the left there will be a Fresh icon. Now, the thing that's important, the thing that most people don't or get confused about is you have to apply to get the service. So the first time you use it, you'll be clicking this little Fresh button, and it will send a message saying that you've applied for the service, and they will let you know when you can join. Now, I did this in Mesa before the crisis, and it took about 4 or 5 days. The reason for this is they want to make sure that they have adequate number of drivers to deliver the groceries. So it is a service that you'll have to apply for, and once you're signed up, then you can go and you can do some shopping. Now, the nice thing about Amazon Fresh is it comes in 2 hours and delivers right to your doorstep. So they have a 2-hour delivery option. Again, it is free for Prime members. Now, when you go to the online grocery store, you'll have a menu that looks something like this. Something like this, and you will go through and you'll be able to see all the products that you want, and you'll just click off and order them. Now, we did this. I used this service 3 or 4 times, and it was pretty impressive. So you'll find, I'll let you go online and you can have a look. Now, I should point out that those of you who have tried to buy from Whole Foods before through Amazon, I found their prices very, very expensive. Amazon Fresh is different. I don't know where they get the produce from Amazon Fresh. I suspect some of it comes from Whole Foods, but the prices on Amazon Fresh are extremely competitive, and I'll show you this in a minute. Now, once you complete your order, you then are prompted to select a day in which you can have it. And as you see, this was delivering it to my Mesa resort and my Mesa address. And I selected, you could select today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. Those are the days that I had. And then you can select the time in which you want it delivered. And it would, and it will deliver the groceries right to your house. So you could theoretically order it, and if you got the delivery slot, it would be there within 2 hours. When the driver came to deliver, well, I'll show you. These are how your groceries get delivered. This was these were the bags that it came in. When the driver arrived in a van, he opened the door, and I wanted to talk with him and take some pictures, but he was running and he was on his way pretty quick, so he didn't want to stop because he said all those groceries and all those bags in that van were simply for our resort at Silveridge, and he had to get back for the next 2 hours, 2-hour pickup. So even within our resort, people were using this service quite a bit. And I think that in these times that we're in now, this is an excellent service. Now, if you look at the prices on the, I just got to move this over. If you look at the prices on the right side, these are the items that I ordered on the left, and you'll see that we'll go through some of those items. But if you look on the right side, if you look in the small print on the right side, the very small print, you will find that is what I paid on Amazon Fresh. If you look at the large numbers here, this is what the price was at Fry's or Kroger grocers in our local area. For example, blueberries, 1 pint at the grocery store at Kroger's or Fry's, it was $7.99, and for ours it was on Amazon Fresh it was $3.49. So there was a big savings. Amazon Fresh was actually cheaper in a lot of services. If you look at preserves, wild berry preserves, it was $3.63 compared to $4.99. So the Amazon Fresh prices were actually very good, and in some cases beat Fry's. The produce that we got was good. You know, we had some very good. I got a pomegranate, an avocado, and some berries, and they all were very nice. This is how it comes in the bag. It's wrapped in a thermal thing that will help keep it cold or warm, whatever is appropriate. And I got some milk and some juice, and they even give you a free frozen bottle of water, and that's how they keep it cold. There's a cold frozen bottle of water in your cold parcel. So this was we used this service 3 times. Here was some jam that we bought, and these were preserves, and then we bought some of Dave's food for some of his bread, which was fine, and it was fresh, and so on and so forth. So that's just one example, and we're going to talk about many different delivery options of delivering groceries, because I think as seniors, this is a big factor that we have to look at now. I would like to hear from everybody in some of your local stores and what you've encountered and what you've done. Since we've been in Canada now, we've had some deliveries from local grocery stores as well. Most of them are pretty swamped right now, but we're still seeing supplies, and apparently our local Costco even has toilet paper still. So that's pretty darn cool. And that's my presentation, and that's on Amazon Fresh. Does anyone have any questions? Anybody used it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Do you have to clean the bags before you bring them in the house?
That's a very good question. You know, the whole issue of cleaning anything before bringing in the house is one. Even when you get groceries delivered in bags, you should probably wash the cans, not the fruit, but probably you need to wipe the cans down and probably wipe the bags down, because again, you don't know where those bags have been.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone use the Amazon Fresh? Any comments? Yes, Eric. We will let me.
Yeah, I would say general deliveries like Amazon. We put the boxes in the garage for 24 hours because that seems to be the guidance on cardboard and whatnot. Open them and wipe our hands.
Very good. All right, we're now at 9:45 and we have 15 minutes left. And the last 15 minutes, we were going to talk about interesting shows or movies or television shows that you've seen lately. And Dewey, my friend Dewey, who I will unmute now, has some suggestions on this, some of the interesting things he's listened to for the last week. Dewey? We'll unmute Dewey.
You're talking to me?
No. Dewey, not that, you're Huey. Dewey.
Yeah. I didn't see Dewey on there, but he might be signed in with a different name.
I've got Dewey close.
Oh, yeah,
up.
there he is. Yeah, I see it now. And he's unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Can you turn your volume up a bit?
Or get closer. Now he's muted.
I'll unmute.
I'll unmute.
There you go.
Okay, you can hear me now?
I can.
Great. Well, anyway, one of my interests in the last several months has been YouTube. And this was precipitated by going to a mini class presentation on YouTube. I knew about YouTube. We all know about YouTube. Lots of stuff. Great stuff, junk, everything. Well, anyway, it was pointed out in this presentation that there is really more there than anyone could ever dream. Literally millions of videos ranging in length from, a minute to hours and hours long. Well, anyway, this prompted me to get watching a little bit of YouTube some evenings. And it's gotten to the point now for the last 2 months, I've been spending perhaps an hour every evening playing selected YouTube clips. And this is something to do in this time when we're confined to our homes because of the coronavirus. When we return to Minnesota, our governor has mandated that we need to stay at home for 14 days. Gosh, some of the time will be spent obviously doing productive things, but you have to entertain yourself a little bit. Well, YouTube TV has so much, or YouTube, excuse me, has so much to offer. Now, there's various different ways that you can access YouTube. For instance, you can download YouTube on your device, your smartphone, tablet. You can go to youtube.com on your computer. You can buy a streaming device like a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick TV and download the app on those devices to watch. Also, there, of course, are smart TVs, Roku TVs, where if YouTube isn't one of the apps already on the device, you can add it. Now, what can you find on YouTube TV? Well, I just happen to have right directly above me a TV screen, and I've got my Roku remote control here. And I'm going to just give you an idea of things. This is just random stuff. Here's a 15-minute video on the Rambler Ranch, a very beautiful old car. Let's see. Here's Last Man Standing, gag reel, season 4, 12 minutes maybe. I don't know anything about it. Here's another one, repairing the Fonz's vintage Triumph motorcycle, 20-minute video. Here's one, Eddie Murphy's stand-up comedy routine. His first appearance on the Johnny Carson show years ago. The painting life of Vincent van Gogh. I mean, it's just amazing variety that you will find. So I would like to encourage you to take a look at YouTube. And for instance, let's say you knew some kid in high school or college that was a great musician. You haven't heard from him for years. Just search for his name on YouTube. Who knows? There's probably a video there and you can catch up. Well, anyway, happy watching, and I hope I've given you some ideas about how to while away the extra time you have now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, Ron, Rob Truman has his hand up.
Can you unmute him?
Yeah, let's see. I thought I could. Yep, I muted him because there was some noise. I thought it might be coming from him, but go ahead. Oh, he's got a microphone problem. We can't understand you. You sound like Mickey Mouse.
YouTube is also a great place if you want to learn something new. Anything you have a problem with, you can also find videos that will teach you how to fix your problem.
Yes. Now, I had I had a recommendation. Gail and I have been watching Homeland. Homeland is an American spy thriller, and it's on Netflix. And it's about it's based on the Israeli series Prisoners of War.
Ron, you're locking up.
Am I locking up?
Yep, but go ahead. Back.
Is that back? Okay. Series starring Claire Danes as Carrie Matheson, a Central Intelligence officer with bipolar disorder. The series has been broadcast for a number of years now, and there's seven episodes, 7 years. It's won generally positive reviews, and in the first 2 seasons, it won the Golden Globe Awards for Best Television Series and Drama. Danes has won a number of Golden Globe Awards for her lead actress role in Homeland, and I would really encourage you, if you want a good series to watch, is to have Homeland running.
Are there any other questions or
others?
Comments?
Homeland, riveting series. All right, I had one more video to show everybody. If I'm going to share my screen, okay, Huey?
Yep. Make sure you hit that little box so we can hear the sound.
Yeah, and I'm going to share my screen, and let me just come back here. We're going to play. Now, I want everybody to be aware that since we're all going to be home for the next 6 months, it's important to exercise at home. And these are some exercises you can do while you're at home.
One of the risks of self-isolation is lack of exercise. And so I've come up with a suitable form of this exercise. Starts with a nice twisting motion and gripping motion. This is good for the forearms, and then we progress from that. Now be careful not to overdo that exercise. We progress from that to a slight pushing motion, which generates a little bit downwards force from the shoulders. That uses the shoulder muscles, continuing to hold that grip using the forearms. Nice twisting motion, and then this is a very delicate but nevertheless very effective motion. Lifting carefully as we go, lifting, and at this point we now use all of our core to pull, and that core releases all sorts of endorphins, and the endorphins come with their own reward. So there we are. This is all you need to do to combat lack of exercise during this present crisis. Cheers.
Huge.
All right. I thought I would leave on an upbeat note.
Ron, there are a few questions in the chat box. Maybe we got a couple of minutes left.
I just wanted to let everybody know that we are taping this show, and I will put it up on our YouTube channel, and I'll send everybody a link as to where it is. So if anybody wants to go back and look at this again, you can certainly do that. Okay, questions?
Let's see, just from Beth to everyone, archive.org is an excellent site for free movies, books, and recordings and so on. Betty Wills said, I found a YouTube video to exercise at home. The name is HasFit, H-A-S-F-I-T. Eric Noyes says, our library in, I believe it's pronounced Pima County, Arizona, has Acorn free with library membership. Acorn's a TV series, not a series, but a TV network, and they have a whole bunch of different programs and so on available, and movies as well. If you like to stream, Stars is half price for 3 months at Sling TV at $4.99. Has free content. Acorn TV is free 30-day trial. Showtime 30-day trial. If you have YouTube TV, I'm adding this on. YouTube TV is added Epics and all of their channels for 30 days free, and you don't even have to sign up for it. It's just there. Somebody suggested we should mute all of when we get the noises we were getting. I was trying to mute them one by one. I didn't want to mute all, and we might have muted Ron at the same time, and I didn't want to interfere, but we'll have to do that probably next time, Ron.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else here. Instacart is, Dick Vogel says Instacart is delivered on schedule from BJ's Wholesale and Publix here in Florida. Rob Truman, we couldn't get his mic working, but he said not impressed with Instacart. Tried it twice and never got his delivery.
I had no problems getting mine from a local grocer. That came through Instacart.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably do the delivery to curb and then just drive and have them put it in the car and bring it home. I just feel a little bit better about that for whatever reason.
Gives you a chance to go out too.
Yeah. Well, my tricycle I got a brand new tricycle, and I'm in a retirement community, so I can ride around in the streets here, and I'm not out with the general public. And so I've been trying to get some exercise that way. And we found we also have a lot more garbage than we used to have, so I'm making a lot of runs to the dumpster.
Yeah, same here. And riding the bicycle in the park is easy.
Ron, if anyone has not signed in to the chat box, if you would, with your name and where you're from, I've captured almost all of it, so we can kind of go through it. I see we're starting to lose some people because they know it's at the end. So I want to say thank you for everybody for joining. We've enjoyed it.
Thanks for putting this together. Great. Look forward to next week already.
We'll be on next week at 9 o'clock, same time, same place. And we'll have some new topics to talk about. If you would please email any suggestions you have for topics you want us to chat about or answer questions, yeah, that's always helpful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're signing off now. I think we're probably finished, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next week.
Stay well. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Stay healthy.
Bye.
Thanks, Ron.
Has he got a wig on now?